One of the key points of the 1920s that we need to focus on is the economy. Because of the 1920s and the activities in the economy, we see the Great Depression emerge in the 1930s. What happens is people get a little carried away with spending, and everybody always wants to buy the next best thing. And in order to do that, many people revert to using credit. And that means buy now, pay later. So you could go to the store, buy that new washing machine on credit, take it home, and then pay for it over a period of time. The use of credit starts to permeate all areas of society, and everybody starts to use credit to buy the next best thing. We become a consumer-driven society. We were always trying to have the next best radio, the next best washing machine, car, fan, refrigerator. So we could use this credit to buy all of these different products that were being produced. And people did. They wanted the next best thing. So we were always overusing our credit throughout the 1920s. Because people were buying more and more products, corporations like General Electric start to see a growth in their profits. And it's easy to make money on the stock market when people are buying all of these new inventions and buying all of these new products. So average people were spending money investing into the stock market. Some people were getting rich overnight because of the growth that they were seeing. So corporations are businesses that are owned by investors, and you can become an investor. You give your money to a corporation so that you can earn money. When the corporation makes money, you make a little money. You earn dividends, which are payments that are made to you from the company based on how well they're doing. And in the 1920s, General Electric is one of those companies that's doing really well. So if you invested in General Electric, you could probably make a lot of money. So with all of these different technologies, some people did get rich overnight. A problem arises on the stock market when people begin to use credit to buy their stocks. This is known as on-margin buying. It is illegal today. You can't do this. And one of the reasons why it was accepted in the 1920s was that the stock market was rather unregulated. Our economy was regulated by the government. There were standards for minimum wage, working hours. The labor unions from the earlier part of the course, they did their job. People were working, and they were working in relatively good conditions. So the speculation on the stock market was the idea that the good times were going to last forever. It's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So what that meant was if I wanted to buy a $100 share of stock and I only had $10, I could go to my broker and I could give my broker that $10 and he would say, okay, now when you make some dividends off of that investment, I'm going to keep those as payment to me and payment to the corporation that you've invested $100 in their business. When in all actuality, the company only received $10. So they were playing with money that they didn't have. This all catches up with the companies in the late 1920s. Companies used the money to make more products, to hire more workers. But by the end of the 1920s, people had overused all of their credit. They couldn't afford to buy anything else. Companies were actually using money that didn't exist. And this all comes to a screeching halt in 1929 with the stock market crash. People realize, oh no, we've outspent ourselves. So this is one of those underlying causes of the Great Depression, and it's all built upon the activities of the 1920s. Everything that we did in the 1920s leads to that Great Depression. The overuse of credit, the on-margin buying in the stock market, the consumer-driven society, and the idea that the good times were going to last forever, that speculation on the stock market. Those all are underlying causes of the Great Depression, which occur throughout the 1920s. And the unregulated stock market is also a component of that.